One thing that I heard from both our speakers is a pedagogical mission. A pedagogical mission. What do we do with an appreciation for the shades, for the multicolor, multi-ethnic construction of this polity that we live in that doesn't always acknowledge itself to be this diverse? What do we do with that in the way we teach, and specifically in the teaching programs? How do we organize? What does American studies mean in light of what we heard? What does ethnic studies mean inside American studies in light of what we heard? So my first question is really about what we do as cultural workers and as teachers of generations. Because our political activism sometimes spills out from the classroom, and sometimes it's really located in the classroom. I think I'd like to take us seriously as teachers, at least for the moment. What do we do as teachers? The next question is something that comes up in conversations with mostly Latino activists, reading Latino activists, more than Afro-American activists. And I wonder how much this question still motivates Latino politics and cultural activism. And that is the dream of the cosmic race, mestizaje. You know, this has been a program of national dimensions in lots of countries in Latin America to consolidate a country, to meld differences into one national type. Is this something that still underlines lots of Latino discourses? If so, what do we do with that inside this debate? Because, as I said before, what we can do here, and what Cornel repeated, is what we can do here is really push ourselves on differences because there's trust and friendship. Another kind of thorny issue is the women's issue that got mentioned, but I'd like to develop it. One thing that I learned in the Latino Studies course that I'm taking along with my students is that 50% of the Latinas who marry in this country marry outside of their communities. They may be marrying other Latinos, but there seems to be some kind of incentive for young women to make alliances outside of their immediate communities. What does that mean about communally based identification patterns as they break down on gender? And how do we think about that, again, pedagogically or maybe extracurricularly? And the fourth question, the last question that I want to pose, is about language. One way to read Anthony Appiah's comment that only 50% of Latinos speak Spanish is that it would be good if more did. You know, I know that he's a close collaborator with Arjuna Padurai, you know, an important thinker on multicultural issues, whose banner at every meeting I've seen him in is more languages, more flexibility through languages, more of a consciousness that you can't be multicultural in this world anymore if you're going to make everybody speak your language and be in a disadvantage, or not exercise your own psyche to have an imagination in someone else's language, right? Is it only Latinos who should be reading and learning Spanish, or Haitian Creole, or Asian American languages if you come from an Asian American family? Or is it all of us who need to exercise that kind of tolerance and flexibility by moving into at least one other language, whether it's a home language or not? So, I could have a long list, but those are four issues that I think came up in the conversation and that I would love to hear a lot more on.